Why do we have to go to therapy? Day 9 of a 30-day journey.
Hey, welcome to the Bellingtons. We are on day 9. Can you believe it? We made it to day 9, 9 of 30. And today's conversation, we're going to answer a simple question. How did we know it was time for us to seek therapy in our marriage?
Well, we knew it was time when we stopped hearing each other and we could no longer come to a common ground on how we were feeling. And
We say feelings in the relationship.
yeah,
There was times, we were just speaking two different languages, laying in the same house, like just two different languages on every aspect of our marriage. Sometimes she felt like things were perfectly fine. Sometimes I thought things were perfectly fine, but in common grounds, it was not at that moment.
and we can say these are the things that led us to therapy. And these are some of the feelings that I've experienced throughout this journey within a week. And as you all seen on day, what was it, day 4 or 5?
What conversation?
I know, right? The conversation when I woke up and was in the prayer closet, and I was just feeling like,
That was day
man,
6.
day 6, right? I was just feeling like I feel like I'm on a different page, and that's when we knew like, okay, yes, therapy is going to be good for us. It's going to be great for us. Although we've had that spiritual counseling and we relied very heavily on our faith, it comes a point where you do need those outside resources to kind of interject and help get you over the hump, or as we say in the valley,
Get through the valley.
get through the valley. So we did. We explored different options and different therapists and kind of went with one who aligns with our beliefs, our values, and our goals at hand. And one thing I would always say when therapy was brought up before was that, look, we need to work on ourselves first before we can work on our marriage together. I'm a firm believer of that. And we both sought outside individual therapy. I'm still in therapy now, working on healing those things within me, accepting those things within me, and just dealing with everyday stuff. And I feel like I've done the work. I've came a long way with my journey as who I am as a woman, and then tack on who I am as a wife, who I am as a mother, a sister, and all the titles that I hold. And I feel you like, how was your individual therapy journey? Did you feel that you got what you needed, or
I
I
think it
don't
was
know.
very tough for me because I'm a very private person when it comes to my personal feelings. I mean, I had hard times expressing to my own wife the feelings I was feeling or the thoughts that I was going through. So then I get on the phone and I'm having therapy sessions, and sometimes it was very awkward moments just sitting on the phone, and she might ask a question, I'll give a simple answer. I wasn't really opening it up because I was trying it, but I just, for me personally, I don't think I was connecting with her at that time, and it made it difficult for me. And so I will tell you this, and any advice, you got to make sure you have the right therapist, right? Even in
Yeah,
our marriage
that's good.
therapist now, like you have to do the research. It ain't no just click a dial, pick the first person you see and click on it. It is very difficult. I did not know it would be that hard to find a marriage counselor. And then when you have specific things that you want, and from gender to being black to being a woman to being somebody in an age range that you can communicate with or they can understand where you're coming from, that was tough. That was one of the toughest things. So anybody out there that's trying to be creative on thing, that is the avenue that needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed ASAP because doing that can make you want to just turn it off and just put the computer away and not look for it anymore. Uh, but for me, couples therapy is perfect for us at this time because when we're having these hard conversations, sometimes the emotions get into it and we have to table that conversation because no matter how we looked at this object, or this situation, I seen it one way, she's seen it another way. And it's hard to put yourself in those shoes when it's a very tough situation that at times you might not feel like you did anything wrong in that situation. And you don't understand how she might feel that way when you're like, I didn't mean anything by it.
Or my favorite thing that came up this week was that I said, all right, we're going to table that, saying that you couldn't have loved me if you did this. We're going to table that for therapy, on my end and on your end as well. That's something, I mean, it's just being transparent with you all. We'll tell you what we learned once we go this week. I'm looking forward to it. And another thing is you have to be willing to make that sacrifice and fight for what it is that you want. We can, we can spend money on all these different things, going out to eat, traveling, but do we really want to take the time and the effort and the money to put into our marriage? And I say that because we did find out during our intake session that our insurance did not cover therapy.
So if anybody on the intake, when you go in there, just think crazy, talk crazy, so that your therapist can write notes.
It's certain stipulations that have to go in line with this insurance to pay for it. Well, that's our insurance, but it was a little like, what? Like, what thing are we sacrificing because this is necessary? We need this now. But we did have the conversation to fit it in our budget this past week when we did our budget one-on-one talk.
Because originally wasn't in the budget.
It wasn't in the budget, but it is. That just means that once again, Will cannot go on his birthday trip to Thailand.
We're going to table that for therapy too. You see how mine's got cut off?
Yeah.
But definitely. And just like the spiritual side of therapy. And that's one thing about it. We did find a Christian therapist who can talk to us in the Word as we're learning the Word in our marriage. We heard some powerful words today about marriage and the spiritual side of it, which, it's the vows. We were talking about the vows. We're watching a comedy show today that was talking about the vows of marriage and the importance of it and how everybody writes their own vows. But the original vows really deep dive into marriage. And it was interesting because we talked about it today about, hey, let's go back and look at the vows and see what they really mean and how we can input them into our lives.
And then just taking a step to write new vows, because over time you change, your expectations change. And this journey also with therapy, we're relearning what took place in that change, who we are now. And as he always say, I want to fall in love with the woman I married. I want to fall in love with the man I married. But we do know we are not the same people. So it's just relearning that and resetting.
Fall in love with the 40-year-old version's close.
Wait,
close to 40, not there yet.
Wait a minute now. I'm 30 something. I just know I'm not 40.
I hear that.
But yeah, so it's just having that understanding that, hey, we're new and improved 13 years down the road. Who are we now? And falling in love with that person all over again.
This is very true. Well, thanks for tuning in. This is day 9 of 30. It's a long road. It's a long road we're traveling. So we just appreciate y'all traveling the road with us. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, comments, leave questions. Hey, some of y'all send out prayers to us, and we appreciate that.
Thank
some
you.
of them reach out to us on
you.
Text messages. We'll appreciate that.
I will respond to you all eventually.
Just know, we're in the midst of a fight ourselves.
We are.
Because this is not a battle with each other. This is a fight for each other. And we do appreciate y'all.
Bye.
Bellatons out.